So as you just get here into the box. But yeah, ready to go, mate. Should be a good one.
Looking forward to it.
As we kick things off in this opening game, as you're sitting there with your bacon and eggs watching a good game of footy. And WA received the ball straight up. Gee, it was a great game yesterday with, I should say Thursday, with all the teams in play. You could almost argue both of these teams could have actually been in the 5th, 6th playoff, but this is to play for 7th and 8th. And Queensland too with the early turnover there, Gricey. But the standard of schoolboy footy this past week has been incredible. It's much, I would say, slicker than years before, and these kids are getting bigger and more agile, more skillful.
Yeah, more athletic, I think.
More athletic.
Yeah. I think WA have been big improvers, Adam, and Victoria as well. They both started off slow, but they've come good the last couple of games. Queensland underperformed a little bit, I think. Queensland too. They'll be disappointed.
Look to drive things towards the line. This looks like an easy try on its way. Here it is. So within a minute, Queensland 2 are on the scoreboard through Zach Crothers, the hooker. Good hooker's try there with everyone doing the work in front of him and just falling on the ball. I was an expert at that, but Queensland 2 have got the early score here, 5-0 against Western Australia. But you were just saying before, it is disappointing, and it's disappointing in some ways not to see Queensland 1 in the final v New South Wales 1, but New South Wales 2, what a performance for them come back, and it's almost shows you the strength of New South Wales rugby. But both Queensland teams are very good, just not so good on those days. It'll be disappointing. It's disappointing not to see them both through.
Yeah, I think Queensland 1 lost that game for themselves. They had it in their grasp, so 31-13 up with about 10-15 minutes to go. And to New South Wales 2's credit, they came back and never gave up, kept trying. And a fantastic try at the end there to sneak victory.
Here comes Atkinson, who strikes it well. And
nice kick.
The flags are up, so 7-0, Queensland 2 on 2 minutes of play. I agree with him. I don't think WA have been big improvers this year. Really a developing state with Victoria, and they have closed the gap at a schoolboy level. Victoria, big improvers, but WA, I think everyone expected them to come here and not be as competitive they are, but they've actually been a real threat for 80 minutes. But that's a good tackle, and it leads to a handsome break by Jaden Solomon, who almost scores. What a run by Solomon. He's been one of their standouts all carnival. Looking for the back now. They go for a little pick and a long ball place there. Leaves it to this wiry old 7, Hinkley, who's given it out, and they've gone through on the corner. It's an easy try there to start things for Western Australia. So both teams have had the ball for less than a minute, and both teams have been able to come up with the 5-pointer. But incredible start there. I think that was Isaac Evans who scored that try.
A bit loose defensively through the middle there, Queensland 2, weren't they?
He certainly was. It was a great run by Solomon, who's been strong all tournament. He's carried well. He's been very good in defence, and probably their standout, apart from their number 9 on the opening couple of days. And that's just a good, strong line.
Great vision from the halfback. The goal kickers have been very good in this tournament, Adam, so far. Been quite a few great kicks from the sideline.
As Rugby WA line up and strikes well.
Wow.
Wow, it's right. Incredible kick by WA. So now 7-all after not even 4 minutes, Gricey. They've off to a great start, both teams.
This might be a big score, Adam.
I hope so.
Certainly entertaining for the first game of the day.
Queensland 2 kicking things off again. And taken well by Western Australia. They shift wide. That's Solomon, who looks for field position. It's a good kick, but cleaned up well by Queensland. And they're Number 10 is Drew and goes back down the side now.
Good feet.
Drew, beautiful feet there. Nice little offload, but taken well by WA. So WA have come back with the ball. Looks like both teams are having a crack in this one. There's a big lad here. I think that's Titana. And WA continue just to motor forward here. Chilly conditions here at St Ignatius Riverview, although not a cloud in the sky. And here is Solomon again, and Solomon, another good little piece of footwork. High tackle there, potentially let go by the referee, so they'll continue to move forward. Oh no, referee's picked it up, so good carry there too by WA through Nelson. And they'll go back for the advantage. So both teams looking pretty strong at the minute.
WA playing a little bit deep, I reckon, Adam. They just need to flatten up a little bit. So they've got some good ball carriers.
Grassy, tell me what's the next steps now when it comes to selection? You're a huge part of the pathway for these young kids, not even just into Australian schoolboys, but you've got the URC this year under-19s Rugby Championship, and you've got the Australian under-20s, which is now the Junior Wallabies. So what's the next for these kids? They go back and play for their schools?
So I think there's a couple of rounds
Sorry,
to go.
I'll hold you there, mate. We'll go through, and WA put a boggle ball there. So Queensland have picked that up and they have consolidated, but continue on with that as we pack down this scrum
here. A couple of rounds for the New South Wales teams to finish their season. Queensland start when they go back to school. And of course, we'll pick a Australian Schools and a Barbarian side out of this tournament. And they'll play the Kiwis and Tonga in October, early October. And then if they're lucky enough, they'll be selected on a UK tour at the end of the year where we play Ireland and Scotland.
And wouldn't that be a special tour to be a part of? So many great stories coming out of those Australian schoolboys tours with talent coming through. But is there a possibility, Grassy, because I've seen a couple of the comments online, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but to be able to play a competition like this at the end of the schoolboy season, it's just difficult to work in with the international calendar?
Yeah, it is. I think that's the biggest problem. Some of these boys who don't make the Australian schoolboys may go on and play URC as well. So there's opportunities for them under 19s. So I think that'll be a great competition. So that's been run at the beginning of October as well.
Well, it's just good now that there is a genuine pathway to professional rugby. And there's also, along that pathway, is a little kick out to the side if you want to just get down and play Colts footy or go in a grade. So the work of Rugby Australia and just trying to align and make sure that there's a pathway for fun and a pathway for performance and participation is there. But we'll continue on now through Rugby WA after quick tap, and good strong carry there by, I think that's Marcy Barker, their captain, who's also been one of their best for the tournament. And continuing on now through Parr, Tossa Parr, finding his feet, who then dishes it off to his front row teammate Nathan. Ball on, dug out, good carry again by Wentholt. He is a big lad, Wentholt. Very deep, Rugby WA to Solomon, and now Hinkley. I've been calling him the Honey Badger all week. Here we go again.
Badger about him.
He certainly does, the Honey Bachelor, Solomon. Slipping through. Good carry again by Wentholt. They are the big lads, both sides. Looks like it's a turnover now to Queensland. They do look for the counter straight away, and they've gone down this short side. They've got numbers here, but they decide to kick it and fill position, which might turn out fortuitous. Halfback chasing there for Queensland. Good chop tackle by the number 10, Drew, and Kirk with a lot of pressure on there. They've consolidated well, though, the Western Force. Box kick. Finds the paint. And here comes Atkinson, who's shaping up to kick, but he might have a crack here, Atkinson, and he does by finding his outside centre Fluke, who goes back infield. So just on that 5 metre intersection, and now looking for a carry, and there's the try scorer, Crothers, who started for this side last year, and here's Queensland 2 again, finds the hole through Drew. Good tackle there and cleaned up well by Hinkley.
He's got something about him, that Drew, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got some feet. Looks like that's just shaded his arms. They're picked up well here, Western Australia, and Marcy Barker looks at the referee and says, "Come on, sir, I was away."
Time off.
These referee's having a little bit of trouble with his microphone, with his communication system. All fixed.
Gents, let's go.
All over the news today, the referees after that red card last night.
What do you think about that one, Adam?
By the letter of the law and his interpretation of it and how it was communicated to him, I think he felt it was the right decision. But just in all that process, if one piece of information or one person's view isn't quite spot on, it can lead to a call like that. So, look, I think our referees do an incredible job under some really tough times. And they're governed by SANZAR and also World Rugby. And even some of the referees here in this tournament, we haven't spoken about them, Grassy. So that just shows you that we're producing good kids and also good referees as well. And our game day operations team here at the tournament. But a good scrum by Queensland and shifted off to Solomon, who lets it go, but it falls forward through, and Queensland have picked up the spoils through their outside centre. And they continue on. This is a big, strong run by Tavaga. Ball at the back. Here's Kirk. Kirk finds, he tries to find his forward runners, and it gets to Crothers, the hooker, and some good little interchange of play there.
Yeah, the ball's a bit slippery this morning, Adam.
Oh,
There's a fair bit of dew on the grass.
It is, it is. It's freezing down here on the sideline, but it'll start to warm up. It'll be perfect for the grand final, New South Wales 1 v New South Wales 2.
Should get a crowd today, I reckon.
Yeah, especially here in Sydney. I'm looking forward to seeing Queensland one prior to that. Got some great talent coming through Queensland at the moment. Even looking forward to next game. Pricey, the Victorian side, who just went down to the ACT on Thursday, and then you've got the ACT taking on Queensland 1, which was, you know, two great teams in the tournament in last year. So plenty happening here on the final day of the Australian Schoolboys Championship, as Kirk finds it now to Drew, who bangs it on the inside, and a good run there by Fluke. Gets over the advantage line, needs to be a long ball place, and it is. Bit delayed at the back of the ruck there. Here's a good carry by Tavaga, and it looks like he's locked on as well. So conditions here, although crisp and clean, it's very slippery and dewy, and we're starting to see a few mistakes.
Just standing a bit flat-footed, some of those forward runners, Adam. They need to be hitting the ball at pace. Actually getting it while they're standing still. So there's not a lot of momentum forward. Couple of big packs there, Adam.
I'd be absolutely nowhere near these rep teams as a kid. I was about 85 kilos as a hooker. I'd get eaten alive. As we pack down, good strong scrum by Queensland, and they've pushed it off the ball, but they've not been able to counter that. You can just see the face of the Western Australian captain, Marcy Barker, disappointing. So set pieces letting him down in this one. WA, Queensland looking really strong, and they'll likely opt for the line out, and they do.
Good to see them having a crack at him.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've noticed throughout the tournament that the
Subs blue 28.
it's been a little bit mixed.
Yeah.
Some teams are not backing their line out, just quick and tap and go, and others are taking kicks that are probably a little bit out of range. I think in these tournaments, you just need to look for the 7 points, not the 3.
Yep. The drive on here.
Time back on.
That's how they scored their first try.
It's a good line out too by Crothers, and the line out maul is set. It could be a double here for the hooker if he gets the ball to the back, and he has.
Yeah, that's nice.
Moving nicely. It is nice. Michael Grice. Will he fall short?
No, 23, no!
He'll keep going, and it looks like it is try time, but it's not Crothers. It's Geraghey, so the blindside flanker will, Ben Geraghey will score Queensland 2's second try, just on 14 minutes. It's 12-7 with a kick to come.
No wonder they opt for this line out. It's a very well put together maul, isn't it? Good drive. WA caught out a little bit there defensively. They just can't stop that momentum. Good stuff.
Just looking at some of the feet marching towards the line there. You've got green boots, you've got pink boots, you've got blue boots.
Yeah, no, black ones in my day.
They reckon black's back on trend now.
Is that right?
Yeah, if you've got a black pair of boots, you just can't get them. So kids are looking to buy black boots and wear black socks and then cut their footy socks and all sorts of things. But
Used to polish them with the old nugget shoe polish.
Yeah. Certainly did. Now it would be very difficult, but although the boots have changed, the talent's still strong here, coming through this schoolboys system in rugby, and that kick is pushed wide by Atkinson. So no change to the score, 12 points to 7 with 15 minutes gone.
To number 6, Ben Garrity.
It's a great place to play footy, isn't it? Look at that background, beautiful.
It is. Great scenes, and all schoolboy footy at a schoolboy level, not rep level, is always good to watch. Good entertaining footy. Schools get behind it. There's bands, there's songs. It's a real tradition here.
And kids having a crack. That's what you want to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll see more of that later on today and in this game as the Western Australians kick that ball out in the full. But good to see the sea of blue, that blue strip here of WA, and being competitive here in this carnival. Big improvers in 2018, and they're using a lot of their bench now coming into this final game.
So even though they've lost their super team, Adam, they're still involved in all our pathway programs, WA. So they've got some good young kids coming through, and we've invested in keeping them involved in the pathway.
It's still going strong. I think they play Apia tonight, Samoan capital.
Yeah.
At NIB Stadium, and playing a few more games, one against the team of Robbie Deans. But this schoolboys team is certainly big improvers this year, but their scrum needs to lift. And that's Tatafu on this side, who has come on for Titana.
They've certainly improved. They've been quite poor the last couple of years, WA, but their performance this year has been very good.
As Queensland march things forward, they can't go too far, but shifted now through this short side. Good dummy there, and just that last pass by Atkinson. So that's what I've noticed a lot in this carnival, although the first phase attack has always been really, really sharp, and the skill level and the intensity has been there. It's just there's no real passion about keeping it for 3 or 4 phases, which is probably a problem across the whole Super Rugby competition, but especially here today. But they've been really, really skillful as Queensland look to, again, capitalise on this really strong set piece.
Queensland too have been let down by their attacking breakdown, actually, Adam. They turn possession over cheaply and can't get continuity together.
Ball's out.
And that ball is out, and down the short side is Kirk, and Kirk throws it back on the inside, and a beautiful ball by Kirk sees Hedi Araka score his first try here at the tournament, the reserve flanker. So great try there by Heditaka, and he's a big, tall lad, but the pressure came, and I think they're getting a lot of pay at the moment from their set piece. Ball
Sharp
just spits. Yeah, good scrum here. The halfback, Kirk, saw his support, and Queensland to skip clear to a 10-point lead. But he's been good today, William Kirk.
Great vision.
The 9.
Isn't he?
Yep.
He's a smart little footy player. They're just skipping away a little bit here, Queensland.
So
I think their scrums have been very dominant, hasn't it?
yeah.
It's, and of course their line out as well.
Here's Atkinson taking a look and feeling this one out. Perfect conditions here for kicking. And
again,
a perfect result. So Queensland to extend their lead now to 19 points to 7 with just on 11 minutes of play. So WA just need to get their scrum right. I think they're playing as good as Queensland 2 at the moment. Just their set piece just letting them down. So we'll see how they progress or even make changes if they can get to half-time as we get things back underway through Solomon. It's a better restart from him and a good take by Queensland. Met with a better carry there by Fox. Great run by the towering lock. Brilliant play. Caught on his own and then ran 30 metres as Queensland 2 now shift it wide straight away. So let's see what they can do with this second phase of attack, and tackled there, Fluke. As Kirk looks to go back to centre field, and he does. And a good strong carry again by Queensland.
That was better. They flattened up a little bit there, Adam.
And they did. And Fluke goes into scrum half.
Just need to dig into the line a bit.
Drew. And a strong tackle on Tomoko, and Crothers was there to help him out. They've gone back down the opposite way. Carriers on the inside and outside of the hip of runners, so their shape's looking good at the moment, Queensland. And continuing down this short side with T. Vigaga. Here is Kirk. Crothers now. Good interchange of play. Good strong one by Atkinson. And he's lost the ball. So better play by Queensland. Side to side. Their shape's good. And Atkinson just a little bit adventurous with that offload. And we'll have a listen in the referee now.
Scrum.
He's gone well, Atkinson, hasn't he? He's got something about him. Good pace. Gets into some good positions. So you're an old forward, Adam. What do you make of WA scrum? Where's the problem here?
Well, I'm certainly old and a forward. Doesn't mean I know what's going on in there. I think their just shape is probably what's letting them down. If you look at Queensland, this could come down just with that pathway in Queensland and sort of having that scrummaging embedded in you from day one. They're all very talented, the WA kids, but you can just probably...
That looked better.
Yeah, it does look better, but if you look at the shape and you look at where they're pushing, it looks like their tight head could be spitting out to the side, but
right.
We'll have a look at this one. This is good visuals by Rugby.com.au to see Tatafu and how he... Well, his hair's going to be right. He's just flicked his fringe back. And you've got the honey badger behind you, so things can't be too bad. But that's a better scrum for them, but still a result that goes their way. But the scrum goes backwards. Solomon hacks it downfield. That's a good, solid kick by the inside centre playing fly half today. Here come Queensland, though. Looking very, very dangerous in attack. That's very good hands out to Fluke. Fluke chips it onto his toe and finds some field position, and it's picked up well by WA, and a good strong kick there by Barrett, who goes straight across the field, doesn't find touch, and here comes Queensland. Dangerous times now for WA. Queensland sealing that ruck, no, halfback, good decision there to get it out. It's to Simona, who picks and goes and finds some metres, who's a little bit isolated, but his teammates get there. Here's Kirk, just shifting it on. Ball at the back, Kirk having a look. Again, just one out runners, and it's an easy run there to Queensland, scoring their third try in this one. And
bit of ruck watching there by the WA guys, I think.
So there's a try to Queensland 2's
Rather
number
marking
20,
up who's in front of them.
McPherson. It brings their score to 24. The previous try was converted. Total of 24.
Some good lead-up work here.
7.
They're a lot better at their attacking breakdown today. Getting numbers there, accurate.
So that's
a beautiful little ball here.
Good carry. And sometimes to find yourself in that position is a skill set in itself, because you're sitting right there close to the ruck, and all the halfback needs to do is throw it and tip it on. So some good lines by Queensland, which has been rewarded. Welcoming everyone to our call of Rugby.com.au. Adam Fryer, joined by Michael Grice. What would you be doing this time of morning, mate? Would it be cornflakes, bacon and eggs on a Saturday?
Bacon and egg roll, I'd say. What
right.
about yourself?
Yeah, I'd do the same. Usually they come on Sunday, but
Conversion was successful.
so successful kick.
Kicker number 14, Daniel Atkinson. That means that the Queensland 2 score is 26 as we approach the last few minutes of the first half.
Almost feel like giving the ground announcer the microphone here down on the sideline and making him call it, because he's doing a good job just calling that kick over by Atkinson. He's kicked well today, Atkinson, but good restart. Rugby WA coming forward, and a good strong carry there by Sinclair. The lock forward. They need to go now. They can't wait. Solomon done well here this morning. Good carry there by Tossapar, who is locked onto that ball. Needs to release the player. He does. Stafford is on the field now. Looks like they've just dropped that ball there. Disappointing by Tatafu to drop that one, but he's straight back in the line, having a crack. Queensland. It looks like Fox in there with the ball. Now, here's Kirk. Kirk shifts it back to Fluke, who
Good exit.
does exit well.
That's some good meters there. He's done well.
Good play by WA to turn that ball over at the restart. They made some meters, some good carrying, but Queensland got the turnover and were able to get out of trouble. Just tactical kicking in games like this is so important, and in Test rugby as well. It's good to see these kids applying that skill now as Solomon stands in the tackle. No, they haven't had a lot of ball, but they're doing okay at the minute. Have they got a try in them before half time? Here's this honey badger-like player in Darcy Hinkley.
Good carry.
Good carry, good ball place. Here come WA. And Sinclair has a crack getting through there, and looks like he might be isolated. He's not. Stafford. Stafford to Tatafu. Tatafu puts his arm out. Fends off Crothers and goes forward. Good tackle, though, by Crothers. More carries. I think they need to look to tip this on, but Solomon now calls it out to the back line. Good, strong defence by Queensland to come up in the line. I think that's one of the try scorers. Hedekaka. Here's their captain with an inspirational run there, Marcy Barker. Could be in a gold jersey, I think. He's a good player, that kid.
Some good line speed from Queensland, isn't it?
Yeah, coached well.
Look at them push hard.
Very deep now, Solomon. They've come up the line, so they need to chance their arm and go wide, which they've done. Lacking some numbers on the outside, but just a bit of miscommunication there from the WA 15, Zachary Barrett.
Some good pressure from Queensland caused that, I think. They've really picked up their defence today. And with Western Australia so deep in attack, that quick line speed puts them on the back foot.
Good strong line out there by Queensland. They go straight to centre field. That's a good carry too by, I think that's McPherson, the ground announcer call. Advantage there, so hands in the ruck. Will they go? They'll tap and go. And that's the right call there by Queensland because they've got all the momentum here. Here's Crothers. Good carry by the young hookup. Ball placed there. Kirk back to centre field, and that's Garrity. Here's Kirk again. Drew. Good shape by Queensland. This is good footy by Queensland too. And WA were able to clean up there by Barrett and sort of hacks it away. So the good attack and the pressure through a grubber through Gracie is now giving them a very good opportunity with just 2 minutes to go. 22 metres out, line out to Queensland. Can they score before halftime?
Young Kirk's not afraid to have a crack and make some decisions, is he? He's pretty sharp. I like him.
Yeah, that's what we are good at breeding, is sort of young halfback sevens. There's a couple of positions that always do well, but here come Queensland 2 now going wide straight away off that first set piece. And well, their point scorers today was turned over by Queensland. So here come WA, and they've turned that one over. So we'll play the original knock on. It was Atkinson, the goal kicker, that was turned it over in the first instance.
I'd like to see WA score here to make things interesting. And really, if they're a chance, they need to score before half-time. See how their scrum goes this time, Adam.
We've had one penalty for that, okay, so I'm looking.
There's some big lads in that front row of Queensland, aren't there?
Certainly is. Sometimes good just to listen in to see or hear the acoustics of these scrums and the referees talking to the players, but looks like Queensland were in trouble on that one, rolling that outside shoulder.
WA have got lower in their shape there. The last couple of scrums. It's looked a lot better. So here we go again.
Set! Stop white!
Good strung by Queensland as they go now to Drew, who shifts it on to Ponner. Ponner. WA are in the way here. Here's Drew again. Does look good, this 5'8" for Queensland. Adds the 5'8" for Queensland 1 as well. So here they go again through Garrity. Good clean, but ball comes out nicely to Queensland. Playing some great shape out the back. Just ticking over to injury time now. Can there be another try in this half? As Queensland go in and around. Good carry again by the try scorer, Hedaraka. Back to centre field. Carry again by Queensland. This is Halapio this time. So forwards getting plenty of touches, and here's that 9 again, Gricey Kirk.
I like him.
He's playing a good game. Pick and go through the middle. This is Harrison Fox now.
We're in trouble here, WA.
And McPherson picks and goes. Look for a long place. Ball to the back, and who is that now? That's Crothers who feeds it. Are they going to get over the line? It could be a disadvantage. It is, if they were held up, but that wasn't going to happen. WA showing plenty of spirit to try and hang in on this one, and it's just too late. So try scorer, who's that one? Gracia, I can't get a number on that.
Is that Tominike?
I think it is Halapio even, but whatever it is, it's in the record book now. No, you're right, it's Tominike. He's also been good,
So
the loose head.
His brother came over and played for the Junior Wallabies with us.
JP Tominike.
So some good breeding in the Tominike family, some good genes.
Yep. From the Sunnybank Club in Brisbane. There's a few of them actually.
Well, Sunnybank at the moment, yeah. Could be a bloodstock agent in there, but here's Atkinson with the conversion. Shouldn't be too many issues with this one. Bit of a march, bit of a jink, and threads it straight through the stick. So 33 now, Queensland 1.
So there we are at half-time,
Western Australia. And it is half-time here for Rugby.com.au. First game on the final day of the Australian Schoolboys Rugby Championship. Madam Fryer, Michael Grice. We'll take a break here at half-time, and we'll see you here in the second half as Queensland 2 lead Rugby WA 33 points to 7.
Wonderful effort by Western Australia to come out and bounce back.
Welcome back as Queensland to rally up and salute each other here. Adam Fryer for Rugby.com.au and Michael Grice, Junior Talent Pathway expert. And I'm looking at a title here. It's National Programs Manager High Performance. Can you just be manager, performance?
That just means I carry all the water bottles and the kit bags, mate.
Thought you were going to say you carry all the weight, because you do both of those very well. Second half here, game one of the finals. Australian Aussie Schoolboys Championships. As WA get things underway, and it goes straight to the coffers here of Queensland, who carry well, and the try scorer, Hedda Arca. Good carry there by McPherson. He's dropped late afterwards, but this is an interesting one here, Grice, in what we spoke about before. I think there might be some type of card, but unsure whether or not.
I actually missed that.
Yeah, it was a tip tackle, but as soon as he got him into that position to tip, he pulled out. Yeah, he pulled out. It certainly wasn't deliberate, but it is foul play in Hinkley. Let's have a listen to the referees.
Agreed? Yeah. Thank you. Set on blue, yeah?
Just a card here. It just depends on what colour. As the skipper comes straight in, Mussy Bucker. Let's have a listen in.
It's gone past the horizontal. If it, for not for the arm, it would have landed on his head or shoulder, okay? Yes, sir. That'll be a red card.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see that again, Adam. Whether he didn't continue and drive him, did he? I don't think.
No, he didn't, but look, that's what I'm saying to referees now, and everyone says, what's the referee thinking? They've got a rule book, and they're there to officiate.
Yeah.
So he's lifted here.
Right, yeah.
It's actually...
It looked pretty bad, didn't it?
Yeah. We might have a look at that a little bit later, but it's actually could be both players.
Yeah, he was assisted in that.
In Nathaniel Stafford, but disappointing end to the tournament for Darcy Hickley. I tip my hat to you, mate. You've had a strong carnival, but WA with 14 men now. Here's Queensland. Good carry there and a slicing run by Queensland, and that's Jack Bauer, who just cruises to the corner. An incredible start to Queensland in the second half. He hit the line hard, Jack.
Ran a great line, didn't he?
And he found it on the outside. Gricey, take us through this one. This is a beautiful set-piece play. Hard line.
Kirk, good ball. And, just caught out the WA players. Just weren't too sure which man was theirs by the look of it.
Yeah, it was a good try. And if you look at it again, what I like about these young kids now, you don't have to coach them to in and swerve. So he's seen the line, and he's seen where it is, and some backs and wingers could have stepped back on the inside just to keep straight, but he knew straight away he had some gas to beat him, and he took him on the outside, in and away, had the ball in the wrong hand. But apart from that, an absolutely flawless try by Jack Bauer.
And of course, not easy for WA now with a man down. They're going to be one less in that defensive line. The 10 for WA just rocking back on his heels a little bit and couldn't make the tackle. But they look pretty slick, the Queensland back line.
Atkinson kicks it well. Gee, that's a good kick. He's nailed it. So from the sideline, I think he's missed one.
Wow. And he's played well in general play too. He's had a great game, young Atkinson.
How important is it from you from a selection point of view, Gricey, where if there's a kid on the wing that can just deliver, but just a ripping boot, just a consistent goal kicker?
Very important, mate. Very important. I mean, we don't have enough consistent goal kickers in Australian rugby, I don't think.
Did you ever have a crack as a player at kicking with the steel cap boots?
I was actually a 10. I was a 5'8".
The only 5'8" in steel cap boots in the history of Australian rugby.
The old high cut ones.
No, I shouldn't say that. And please don't be offended.
I think I did start playing steel cap boots.
Did you? Yeah. Don't be offended that I thought you played in the forwards. What a look of you now. Michael Grice, he's a high performance manager. He's a performance manager.
It's not about my own performance.
Very cold conditions doing all sorts of things to us down here on the sideline as Queensland have the ball and the dominant pack. They go forward, and here's Drew that shifts it out wide, and the try scorer, Bauer, who's on the field, met well by some strong WA defence. That's Isaac Evans, and looking for the pilfer now is Wood, but doesn't get it, so got some fight now, the Force, and they've got the turnover.
You just hope they have a crack now. They're a man down, and they just need to lift their game and just try hard.
Marcy Barker, he's tried all week and done very well. Very, very deep, Western Force. And there's Solomon.
So they're a long way behind the gain line when they got tackled, weren't they?
Walker Smith giving away the penalty, so you can see the Queenslanders are pumped. Is that McPherson on that one? It is. Good pilfer there by the open side flanker, who's been in everything today. Looks to be a real goer. Here's Crothers now. He's thrown well, the hooker. Both Queensland hookers have been good. Maybe the commentator's curse there as he brings it down, but no.
Here's the drive again.
And he's looking for his second try. They continue to motor forward. This looks like the maul has splintered a path, and Crothers goes through. Good decision and good carry by the hooker. Here's McPherson shifting it off now to Pedicaro, and a beautiful pickup too by Halapio. Queensland looking very dangerous now, and they do incredibly well, but just drop it over the line. It looks like it is a knock on. It is. I was thinking that, is it Tiviaga, the number 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tiviaga thought that he had scored the try, and it was some desperate defence there by WA, but what about this pickup? Beautiful.
We talk a lot about post-contact meters. I think the big guys in Queensland are very good at that. They hit the line, hit the tackler, but they just keep driving forward. Great leg drive.
That was a huge effort too by the WA hooker, Kamizona Haki. That's a better scrum by WA. Ball comes back, but good pressure by Queensland. William Kirk that was able to get around and slap the ball out, had all rights to it.
He's smart, isn't he, Kirk? He's sharp in attack and defence.
He looks like a rat bag.
A cheeky halfback.
Yeah, most of them do.
Yeah, he'll go well.
I'd like to know where the WA halfback is from the first 3 games. Maybe he's being rested.
He might have been injured, actually.
Clear standout for us, but the WA half in Stafford was also good throughout the tournament and playing well today as they go down this short side, and Queensland throw the dummy. Has he got over? Yep. He has. That's Joshua Fluke, his second 4 this morning. So no fluke for Josh. He is one kid that can play, and too easy for Queensland now. 45 points to 7.
13 for Queensland twos. Joshua Fluke.
Just too easy. And not only too easy, the class has come from the hard work of the forwards in the set piece. They've been
outstanding.
Been good all day.
They just held off him when he dummied, didn't they?
They did. But colourful in attack and showing plenty of flair. Their shape around 9 and 10 has been really good. So well coached and well drilled Queensland side. And one bloke that's got his radar on today is this man, Daniel Atkinson. He'll be looking for the perfect boot in the second half. He's just missed the 1 out of this 45-point scoreline. Let's see how he goes on this one. You backing him in?
I'll back him in.
Which gives me very, very little confidence. Michael Grice.
There you go.
Never in doubt. So Atkinson nails the conversion. 47 points now to Queensland, and I wouldn't suggest that that scoreline is a reflection of the game. WA have been strong, just haven't been able to nail their set piece, in particularly their scrum.
And now down to 14 men. It's going to be tough this last 15 minutes or so.
Balls banged back now to Queensland and taken well by Pona. Pona now outside of his 22, so they'll have to find the grass if they're going to get out of here, but I highly doubt they'll look to kick it.
Good tackle.
Great tackle by the WA outside centre. Walker Smith, yeah, gee whiz. Here's Crothers. Ball at the back now. Looks like there's been a change at halfback for Queensland. Tui Simona, the halfback, is now. No, that's a bit of a shank, but gets them out of trouble, Queensland, because they look to try and chance their arm and get out of there, but they weren't getting any pay because it was just some beautiful defence by Queensland in particular. Walker Smith, who came out of the line and just axed them, and WA now with the ball, and the ball goes nowhere. Disappointing result for Queensland, but picked up well and carried well by the big man, Tui Mabavi.
Can go.
Can go, indeed. Here is Queensland. Boggle ball on the ground. Dangerous play for Queensland. They need to go back to their structures, which had done so well for them before. Gee, I like this kid, Marcy Barker. He plays so well.
Yeah.
He's carried this team. And here comes Solomon, who's just picked and gone. Straight through the middle. A little bit isolated, but they've got the ball back now. Marcy Barker playing halfback, and he'll have a crack himself. Ball at the back there, Marcy Barker, with just on 20 metres to play. Good carry, so working one out off the ruck. That's Mason. Ball coming slowly for Stafford, and here's WA through their 5'8" Lachlan Hardy. He's a big kid.
He's a big 10, isn't he?
For a 10. Bit of space around the ruck, but they decide to go wide. Here's Solomon. Solomon with some good feet. Him and Marcy Barker have been their best by far in this one. Looks like that ball's been turned over. No. Full rights to WA. Tap and go. Here's Solomon. And in a big whack there's Marcy Barker, but Solomon was calling on this outside and just couldn't get it. Good little run by Stafford, who finds his forwards, but they're going to call it back here. Let's have a listen into the referee. Looks like there's an injury in back play. It was Lachlan Hardy who got absolutely iced. Let's see if there's some visuals of that. But
he's all right.
He took the quick tap and shaked off. We'll just here's Stafford and gave it to Hardy and kaboom. Nothing illegal about that. Just a good, solid piece of contact.
Just landed awkwardly on his shoulder, I think. He's fine. Let's see what WA can do here. Be nice to see him score a try, wouldn't it? Pretty tough tournament for these guys, Adam. They're backing up every second day. And obviously very willing. Everyone's trying to make a statement and make that Australian schoolboy side.
Couldn't agree more, mate. I'm just having a look at these kids. 4 games in less than 8 days, so it's pretty impressive. As this try is impressive too. A good set piece play to that man, Marcy Barker.
The old hit and spin.
As we were just talking about how gritty and how tough it is on these kids to be able to be in this tournament and continue. A bit of magic from WA. Good, solid scrum. They've been missing that all day. Probably their best scrum of the day. Solomon, he fed it on well to Hardy.
Set of moves there by Western Australia.
Into that man, Marcy Barker. So beautiful interjection of play. Hardy, Solomon, Marcy Barker.
That's great.
Get the 7 points.
That'll give them a bit of confidence now, I think. Let's see how they go from here. Just recapture this kickoff and go forward again. I think Queensland have fallen in a little bit of a trap of playing touch footy too, Adam. They've gone away from their structures a bit.
Solomon takes it on the full and bangs it right back. So territory there, but an opportunity for Queensland now. Here's McPherson. Good carry. Bit of friction in the middle there from WA. They go down this short side, which is a good option. So they're making some meters through Perner. One out runs. Looks like there's been a change in the hooking role. Here come Queensland. Show and go by their fullback now at 10 that's Mellish. And they feed it out now to this open side, and a kick straight through the middle. There are some chases here for Queensland. Great piece of play by Bauer.
Got his own kick. How good.
Jack Bauer, I think we'll be calling his name out plenty of years to come. He had some work to do down that open side flank and put it on his toe and had the chases and provided the magic in the end.
He's got a bit of pace too, hasn't he? Nice little kick. Sets himself up well. Good vision. No fullback. Of course, they're a man down. And he's worked hard to regather that ball straight under the sticks. Beautiful stuff.
Australia, number 12, took their score to 14. Almost instantly.
Got a bit of flair about him too with that hair.
Looking at that try again, Bryce, it's just, there's talent and there's just general freakish talent. But look, just look what he does here, and even as the ball comes out now to him, he realises straight away that he's in a bit of trouble, and he kicks it off that sort of inside of his foot, a la sort of soccer style. But you can tell there, this kid's got talent. Just the way he didn't even have to think about it, just happens for him. And in the first half where he scored his try, made the hole and ran to where the space was. So we've got a bit of a superstar out in the flank here.
And he hit that nice line earlier on too, didn't he?
Yep.
He's got something about him.
Jack Bauer, so conversion, no surprise, is successful by Daniel Atkinson. So he's only just missed the one in this first 54-point scoreline for Queensland. They're up by 40, 54-14. WA with the ball.
Still 15 minutes to go. Long time.
15 to go for these kids to show their worth and score some points, and maybe even continue playing in a different representative schoolboys jersey later this year, as the ball comes out the back to Marcy Barker. He's got the turnover.
Well done.
Gee, strong this kid. Pete Samu-like, Marcy Barker. But he looks like he's just dropped the ball, so pretty good at giving some of these kids some raps and then copping it straight afterwards with them dropping it.
Commentator's curse.
No, mate, they're all good. I think they've been...
At least they're still having a crack, WA. You know, easy to pack up shop, and last game of the tournament. Long flight home for these boys. But they're still in there trying. A couple of big front rows there.
Just see the shape of WA there a little bit off, but they've looked to wheel and counter, and they've got some type of result. Here's Pona, just finding his way over the advantage line. What will Queensland do here?
Exit here.
They do exit. Looks like that was Fluke that pushed it out. So, good piece of territory.
A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that at the conclusion of this game, there will be an exhibition match, the first of two of the day, for the New South Wales Sevens girls team.
Yeah, there you go. Queensland's
Up
ball.
on the other end of the pitch, ready to take the field in this magnificent exhibition game of sevens.
Great line out, haven't they? That hasn't failed all day.
They've looked good, and even their set piece is good as they go through their first phase attack now on this outside flank through Carrera, who pushes it through. Good kick, a lot of pressure there. Good chase too, but shared the spoils and popped up beautifully to Francis Pona, who plants it down. You called it, Gricey. It was a good kick, but it was a good first set play in their backs after a solid line out. So full marks all round to Queensland. Started with the good line out, and then came the strong attack.
There's that little bit of skill at the end too that you were talking about before, Adam, where you just don't coach those sort of things. That little pop pass, we'll see it in a minute. As the ball goes to ground, good chase from both sides, just missed getting that ball. Watch this pass here. So he was smashed by the defender, falling, and just got that ball away. You can't coach that.
So number 12, Francis Pona, has scored that try for Queensland 2.
There'll be no mistake on this one for Daniel Atkinson, but we'll have a quick look at that try again, Gricey, after he knocks this one over, because you're right. just the ability to be able to see an opportunity and it just coming to you. And not being too structured in getting there, just feeling it.
Yep.
That's what these kids are so good at now.
We need to encourage it, Adam. We need to
just to play footy.
Yeah,
but even here, that's a banana kick. He's put on the outside foot, knowing that it potentially would bounce in. And look at the effort. There's Queenslanders coming in from all different directions. All the forwards are coming through, but just being able just to get the ankle tap, and it's a beautiful piece of play by Guerrera, who's hasn't seen much ball today, and Pona has, and he shares in the spoils of a great Queensland try and taken well by Harrison Fox, who's been an absolute workhorse in this one. Gee, he's been banging some rucks, this kid.
Yeah. I think we've tended to got a bit too structured, Adam. We need to let these kids play footy. You know, we need to develop football players, not robots.
Good carry there by Tui Mavavi and receives the penalty. They've gone in for the quick tap, and let's see if they can get it out to Jack Bauer for his third try. Good carry by Mellish. So WA looking absolutely exhausted here. They've tried hard, WA. Don't think that scoreline does it justice, but
good hands.
Good hands, but what a pick up there. 2 by Queensland. That's at Tataka. Pick and go down the short side in fluke. They're lining up now, the men in
again, I think.
Red and white.
Look at them.
See how structured they are. Good carry there by Crothers with support around him. Let's see where they go now. Out the back, go wide. Bit of a jink here, and he deserves a try here too. Guerrera.
How's his pace off the mark?
You haven't heard much of him today, but he's just featured.
Jordan Carrera.
Good feet and just accelerated. That's a great catch, isn't it? That's skill from the big fella.
There's nothing like carrying the ball with it behind your back. It's a new thing they're teaching in Queensland.
Here he comes. Good structure there, good shape, set up. And then we've gone out the back. And just good feet. Look him go, whack. Great try. Some good wingers in this competition.
Just genuine, good footy.
Yeah. Back him over, Adam.
Of course I do. Atkinson looks to make it his 9th conversion. So owning the post, Atkinson is today 9 from 10.
And how many tries has he scored? 2?
I'm actually not sure. I can go to our stats man here, but be able to find out that shortly.
So
but
he scored 28 points.
Very successful by number 14.
WA kick things off. Hanging in there, WA. And
Atkinson's got a brilliant conversion rate today. Their score is on 68. We're entering into the last 8 or 9 minutes.
It's a shame this is blown out, Adam, because I think Western Australia have really tried hard the whole day. As you say, they've just been let down by their set piece. And of course, down to 14 men, they're absolutely exhausted now.
They are. Good steal by Queensland. Again, look at this kid, Harrison Fox. Picked up well and carried well. Good, strong line. Again, he's been good when he's come on too.
He's the one who caught it one-handed behind his back.
Yeah, had a rack up. But he's done what all players have done today. As soon as I've said this kid can play, they tend to drop the ball. So I'm not going to give any on a wrap for the rest of the play.
Another scrum. Feed to WA. Let's see how they go with this one. The last one they lost against the feed. A big push by the Queenslanders. That looks better. Oh, big push again, and they've won it again against the feed. No, we'll pack that again. A bit of strife there, scrum, Adam. WA. Not sure why he pulled that one back.
Just genuine concern that it was going to run over the sideline. Again, we haven't spoken much about the referee at all today, and that's what I've really enjoyed about this carnival. The referees have stayed out of it, done a great job, and the kids haven't had any sort of backlash or talking back to the ref. It's been really, really well officiated. So WA looking to pull up some pride as Solomon standing a little bit deep there, but again, goes into contact. Looks like that could have been pilfered.
Yeah,
Queensland have the ball. They just need to shift it out quickly and capitalise on this turnover, and they do. And just jabbed forward there by Jasper Mellish. Good kick. And the pace there, Lachlan Hardy just jabbing into the sideline, just getting it out of there. And this is not a bad kick in the end by Hardy to get them into this position. They're just hanging on now, WA.
The grubber throws certainly paid off for the Queenslanders in the second half, isn't it? WA being a man down, of course, there's always a bit of space in the back, at the back. Another line-out drive here again.
Good solid set piece again by Queensland. That's McPherson going down the
Nice
short
peel off the
side
back.
and finds the
Jeez,
rampaging
that's
hook up.
smart.
Is he going to get there?
Wow.
Oh, the referee.
Nah,
No.
give it to him.
That's not fair.
Smart play.
It's got to be an investigation. Where's the TMO? There has to be an investigation. Good set piece. McPherson saw the opportunity down the short side. I think that would have been a called play here. And Fino.
Just put his foot. Oh, did he? He must have.
I hope I'm pronouncing this for Sam's family at home. It's Fenok Chario. Fenok Chario. Apologies if I can't get that one right, but I won't apologise for what I'm about to say. That was absolutely devastating for the hooker because he should have scored that one, the poor kid. But good carry, and he's done well since he's come on.
Here we go. Here we go.
Young Sam is.
And he's
this kid Bauer, he's just got Showtime written all over him. I think it could be even Queensland's ball, so maybe he'll get another chance, Bauer. Could he be the bolter? That's what we love about schoolboys footy, when you come down combined states and the New South Wales 2 end up beating New South Wales 1 and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
You love seeing the bolter.
Yep.
Bauer's my bolter.
Rightio. We'll see how we go this afternoon.
So who's picking that team? You got a say?
No, I don't have a say. That's not me. No.
Righto.
We've got the Australian Schoolboy selectors, which includes the head coach, Andrew Maloney.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Glenn Cronin from the Australian Schools Board, and Adrian Thompson from Rugby Australia.
Doing some good things, Tomo. So, just on 5 minutes of play, bit of excitement going out of this one just because of the scoreline. I think what we'd all like to see is Bauer with the ball and maybe Atkinson with a couple of tries just to blow the record books out of the water. So Queensland now with the defending scrum, WA with the ball.
They'll be happy with this, Queensland. They've not played to their potential this week. And this will be a good way to finish for them.
Here's Stafford feeding it in. Good strike by WA. Ball comes out. So, but over the top. And looks like that is Solomon, who, I know I've given him a few raps today, but he is really been the only one that's stood up for them in the back line. Good counter up by Queensland. They've got the ball now. They'll look to send it wide, and they do. And it's a long pass by Mellish.
Oh.
And here he is. Jack Bauer.
You've called it, mate.
Gets the hat-trick. 23 for Queensland.
He's got the hair flowing as he runs as well.
But as soon as that was a turnover, I'll give this try to Mellish, who's jumped in at 10. He saw there was an opportunity. And sometimes you can never get it right. If he had not gone through the hands, it would have been his fault.
Yeah.
If it didn't score, but he took the chance. He skipped over a couple of players and it ended up in Jack Bauer's hands, and now he scores his hat-trick, this young kid from Queensland. I think Jack Bauer is from that 24 TV show.
Right. What was his name? Sutherland.
Keith Sutherland, yeah. But Jack Bauer used to always deliver. The world would be ending.
He has today.
It'd be bombs going off and the president going down, but Jack Bauer was there to save the day, and Jack Bauer today's done well for them.
What, we've got 3 minutes left.
I think so. It's just down in that far
WA score. back this one in as well, Adam. Not on his preferred side.
I'm backing him in.
Yep, I reckon.
Daniel Atkinson looking for his 10th conversion today. And he strikes it. No, he's not going to get this
bit
one.
off on that one.
Come on, mate. Only 9 from 11. He's done well today, Atkinson, not just with the boot, but with his general play as well. So it's now 73 points to 14, and it'd be good to see WA get some points in this one. They've been very brave, and it's certainly not a reflection on their form. It's this white-hot Queensland team. They're looking for more points, and they go through. Who's this one now? That is Atkinson, and he toes it forward, so he's motoring on. He's got some speed now, Atkinson. Can they clean up WA? They do. Good effort there by Barrett to get back and knock that one into the sideline. And the referee looks like he has called time.
Early.
So an adjustment in the clock. We'll call full time now, and we know who the winner's going to be, even with that 90 seconds of play. It is Queensland 2, 73 points to 14. Standouts clearly for mine would be their highest kicking, scoring winger, Daniel Atkinson, to go 9 from 11 and a couple of tries. Incredible effort. Jack Bauer scored the hat-trick for Queensland, and Gricey, I gave him a rap the whole way through the tournament and today. Alexander Marcy Barker in the 24 jersey, captained the team at some stages as well. He was outstanding for WA. Jaden Solomon, their 12, also very handy, but it was always going to be a challenge when Darcy Hinkley, their number 7, was sent off for a red card. Gricey, your thought on today and the overall performance of WA and Queensland 2 in this tournament, but you know Queensland 1 are playing for 3rd and 4th.
I think you've got to give a rap to the Queensland forward pack as well, Adam. They were dominant today. Set piece was great. Line out, accurate, and those driving mauls were sensational. It paid off for the first couple of tries. Pretty slick in the back line. WA, they tried hard, but I think they just hang a bit too deep in attack. They just need to flatten up a little bit. And then obviously when they do get possession, they need to hold on to the ball. Anyway, they were valiant in defeat today. Queensland played well, more to their potential today. They'll be happy with that result. And looking forward to the games coming ahead, Adam.
You'll be signing off now?
I'll be signing off.
Go and get warm, stand in the sun, thaw out.